Okay, welcome everybody. This is the latest edition of the Raise Your Bars podcast with myself, Chris Baker, and Al Rattan. And before we say hello, if you're watching this on our YouTube channel, make sure that you subscribe. If you like the video, give us a thumbs up, share it with other people. That's how we get our messages out. So, Al, how
And
are you doing? Yeah,
Chris, let me jump in. Head over to the Facebook group. If you aren't a member over there, go to Facebook and search Raise Your Bars Personal Growth Solutions, and you can
yeah,
download the worksheets that accompany
yeah,
this lesson.
exactly. And everything we're doing on here is free. So, what have you got to lose? Nothing.
Nothing.
So, Al, I see you got a fake palm tree there now.
I'm just sprucing up the recording studio here a little bit, Chris. I got some lighting, got my little fake palm tree. I know
Uh,
you already rubbed it in that you have real palm trees down there in Florida, but you know what?
yeah.
I'm in Canada. We
Well, I'm
can't grow
thinking,
palm trees in Canada.
yeah, one day I should sit outside and record it and have a real palm tree in the background just so you can see what it's like.
Just
And
no, I don't think it's just so I can see what it's like. It's just so you can rub it in a little bit. But
all right, well, let's get on with tonight's lesson so everybody can hear about it. So we are in module 2, lesson 2 of our mindset mastery workshops that we go into. And tonight we're talking about, or we're asking the question, how was your mindset formed?
exactly.
So, what are the learning objectives tonight? Well, basically, we're looking to help you determine the sources of your abundance or scarcity mindset. Simple as that.
Hmm.
So, how we can do that? Well, now that you know where you land on the abundance scarcity spectrum, you're ready to uncover how your mindset was actually formed. By discovering where your beliefs originated, you can identify negative thoughts and behaviors and replace them with positive ones. Isn't that a novel idea?
Wonderful
If
idea.
if if you have an abundance mindset, the discovery exercise is still valuable. You can apply what you learn to specific areas of your life where you will still demonstrate a scarcity mindset. You can also learn how your abundance mindset was formed so you can consciously and with purpose keep manifesting it and sharing it with other people.
Amazing. Amazing. Now, the scarcity mindset is everywhere. Advertising, news, news programs, the corporate world, politics, our homes, schools, social media, and more. Stock market, Chris, I saw your post earlier on Facebook,
Yeah,
and people are panicking. You know, that scarcity mindset is everywhere. Now, in the
right.
corporate world, resources for frontline employees always seem to be limited. Raises and promotions happen infrequently, hours are tracked meticulously, expenses questions. Marketing is powered by the scarcity mindset. And you'll
Yeah.
see this everywhere. Limited time offer, buy now before it's gone. Don't miss this deal, it won't come around again. By invitation only and final week.
Exactly. And shoppers are motivated to buy either through the pressure of limited quantities, limited time, or exclusivity. And then once they commit to purchase, marketing is designed to make them feel like they'll never have enough. No matter where it appears, the scarcity mindset is driven by a fear of the unknown. There's a distrust in the future and an assumption that the worst will happen. Funds will run dry. There won't be enough to go round. Disaster is just around the corner and you'll be unprepared.
Financial pressure and constraints, either your own or from your family, can contribute to a scarcity mindset. If you grew up in a home where there wasn't enough, or your parents made you feel like there wasn't, this can manifest as a scarcity mindset later on. Now, people with a scarcity mindset often grew up feeling like they had limited resources and opportunity.
Mm.
And this feeling isn't limited to money. It can also relate to love, respect, affection, acknowledgement, or praise. If any of these were withheld in childhood, it can translate into chasing after them in adulthood out of a sense of fear or lack. Now, this quest to fill an empty space reinforces the false belief that something is missing and the answer lies outside of us. Now, Chris, if I
Mm.
could just, back up for a minute and just share a story. So my father, born in 1937, saved everything, right? Waste not, want not. This is, growing up, as a child during World War II, and there
Yeah.
was scarcity, there was lack. And so that's translated now into his 87-year-old self, where he saves absolutely everything and is afraid to dispose of anything because of this fear of not having enough. And it's amazing
Mm.
how, 87 years later, he's still living in that mindset.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's a challenge. It is a challenge. And again, pause as we go through this, because I don't want anybody listening to think that Al and I never have a scarcity mindset about anything. We do, right? But what we are encouraging you to do here is recognize when it comes in and then say, how do you climb out of that? Because otherwise, if you live in that scarcity mindset, and this is what frustrates me about, people on social media, and that the doom and gloom merchants, and even when something good happens today, like the records are broken, they still see doom and gloom in it. And it really frustrates me, because they are living in this scarcity mindset. And all it's
Yeah.
going to do is drag you down. A scarcity mindset makes us believe that we can't get what we want unless something unfolds in a certain way or someone else gives it to us. This prevents us from moving forward, initiating action, and ultimately prevents us from achieving our goals. So, what are some common scarcity messages? Well, it could be money doesn't grow on trees. It takes money to make money. I don't have time. If I can't have it, neither can you. The glass is half empty. There's no point. It's already been done before. There aren't any good men or women left out there. There's not enough hours in the day. I might need that later, like your dad. Right? I can't share my idea because someone will steal it.
So where does this scarcity mindset? How do some people seem to naturally have an abundance mindset? And how was it imparted to them? And it's not about wealth, because some of the richest people in the world still have this scarcity mindset. People with an abundance mindset were taught that helping others doesn't mean that you must lose something. They were shown how to care for their own resources and energy, so they don't grow up worrying about losing them. They were also shown that time isn't limited. Instead of rushing around to multiple practices, hurried meals, and always late for appointments, they were taught to spend their time more intentionally. And I would actually even say, budget their time more intentionally. They were showing that there's enough to go around. It wasn't a limited resource only given for good behavior, grades, or success. They weren't overindulged, but neither were they made to feel like they were there, that there was lack. They learned to
Yeah.
pool resources and share.
Yeah. So let's rewrite this scarcity script. If a scarcity mindset takes hold, we're unable to rationally evaluate new information. The habitual thoughts and beliefs that may have originally been limited to negative beliefs around love and recognition start to seep into all aspects of our life: money, time, knowledge, etc. So these scarcity beliefs then restrict our growth and become self fulfilling. We keep proving ourselves right. Challenge early programming by focusing on the things that you're grateful for. Start with an area of your life that has been particularly affected by a scarcity mindset. For example, it could be your finances, relationships, or business success. Then write down the things that you are grateful for in this area of your life.
Yeah, for example, say if you're a coach and you're observing a scarcity mindset showing up around securing new clients in business, your gratitude list might look like this: I'm grateful for my current clients, the new skills they've helped me develop, the opportunity to help clients transition to a new career. I'm grateful for watching the joy on clients' faces when they make a discovery. I'm grateful for discovering my own purpose and the ability to work from home.
And again, it could be, I'll just throw other examples in out there as
Hmm.
well, because if you're not an entrepreneur or business, you could just be somebody that um, maybe is worried about the stock market, worried about prices, worried about finances, whatever. You've still got things to be grateful for, because if you've got food on your table, have you got a bed to sleep in at night? Have you got a roof over your head? Have you got a car that you can go down to the grocery store? Have you got a grocery store that you can go and get your groceries? All of these things are things that you can be grateful for, but unfortunately, a lot of people take them for granted and don't show gratitude for those. So this is what we're looking to help you with. And this isn't an exercise designed to negate your feelings or to tell you to just get over them. But most scarcity thoughts aren't rooted in truth. Creating a gratitude list or keeping a gratitude journal acts as a reality check. You're not listing anything that isn't true. And research from the University of California, Berkeley, and other sources support the benefits of a gratitude practice, including increased optimism, mental strength, and resilience, not to mention psychological health. A gratitude list can also open you up to possibilities and help you discover solutions to problems that are triggering your scarcity mindset. Other ways to cultivate gratitude include writing a thank you email, telling a loved one what you appreciate about them, recognizing and thanking an employee or a coworker, and engaging in meditation or other mindfulness practices.
Yeah, this is really so good, Chris. And I can't, you and I both know, and I know you started out by saying that you and I were not saying that we never experienced this scarcity mindset, because we absolutely do. But I can tell
Yeah.
you that just even having each other in our, in our corner, so to speak, where we can, if I'm find myself falling into that scarcity mindset, I know I can reach out to Chris and
Yeah.
he's going to lift me up. And the same thing, Chris, message me, maybe having a little bit of a rougher day, falling into that scarcity mindset, and I can lift him up. So it's so
Yeah.
important for you to have these people in your life that you can go to when you start struggling in these areas, and have
Well,
those people that encourage you and uplift you.
yeah. And I think, Al, it's the Jim Rohn saying we become the average of the five people we associate with the most, right?
That's so good.
If your social media is filled with negative posts, right? Which a lot of it is. Honestly, if I see that on mine, I hide those posts. And if somebody is consistently putting out negative messages and not looking for the good in things, I'll unfollow them. Right now, people may say that's harsh, but it's not, because I'm protecting my own mental health. I don't want to be dragged down by other people that refuse to apply an abundance mindset. And so be careful of who you associate with. Have people in your life like Al and I have got, that if you are feeling down, you can just mention something to them and they won't question you. They won't like jump on the bandwagon and drag you down even further. They'll lift you up. And that's
Exactly.
what you want to be looking for. And that's why, honestly, that's why we've got the Raise Your Bars Personal Growth Solutions Facebook group. That's why we do the YouTube channel. That's why I do my YouTube channel. It's why Al does all his coaching, because we want to help lift people up. That's our purpose in life.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, what are a few key takeaways from this lesson? First of all, a scarcity mindset, it's driven by fear. Okay.
Mhm.
And financial pressure and constraints, and growing up believing in limited opportunities, resources, and love and attention can all contribute to the scarcity mindset. And folks, gratitude can help counter a scarcity mindset. Learn to live with an attitude of gratitude. I mentioned this morning to, I was in a group this morning, and I mentioned that I think it's this famous Zig Ziglar quote, your attitude determines your altitude, right, Chris? And I think that translates into gratitude as well. You can't express gratitude and be negative in the same breath. It can't
Right.
occupy the same space. So if you start showing gratitude, it is going to turn around that scarcity mindset.
Yeah. And you reap what you sow. So if you've got an
Mhm.
attitude of gratitude, if you are grateful for what you've got, you'll get more of it. If you are always living in that scarcity mindset, you'll get more of it. So be careful what you ask for. There's the
Absolutely.
thing. So what's
Absolutely.
our action steps for today? Well, first of all, think about the messages you were given as a child related to abundance and scarcity. If you haven't already done so, download your action guide, as we said earlier, from the Raise Your Bars Personal Growth Solutions Facebook group. It's free to join. It's free to download. So once you've thought about those messages, write them down in your action guide. Then look at who was the principal source of those messages. The second thing to do is, even if you predominantly have an abundance mindset, scarcity beliefs can show up in your life, right? As we've just discussed. So, where do you see scarcity beliefs in your day to day life? List some examples from marketing, conversation, business, news, or your own thoughts. Honestly, the scarcity mindset could be the self talk that you have about you, right? That's a scarcity mindset. You need to write that down. What are those things?
That's so true,
The-
Chris.
yeah. The second thing, what are some of your scarcity beliefs related to money, to relationships, to knowledge, to time? Write those down. And then finally, on this part, how have they affected your success and personal and or business growth? All right, so this involves some self-reflection and really digging deep and being honest with yourself. But if you do it, you will come out with some realization and self-awareness that then you can start moving forward.
Mhm.
So what we want you to do then is focus on one area of your life where the scarcity mindset regularly shows up. You may have identified multiple, but just focus on one for now. What is the one that you look at that maybe is the one you want to overcome? So then create a gratitude list to counter some of those self beliefs or those beliefs. And lastly, how would your life be better if you adopted an abundance mindset? Write that down. Right? What would I would talk in coaching and ask people and say, if you were to create and design your ideal life, what would it look and feel like? And be as detailed as possible, because when you're doing that, you are living in an abundance mindset because you're thinking about where do you want to live, who do you want living with you, right? Where do you want to go on vacation, what's your house going to look like, what cars have you got, what are you doing for a living? That's all abundance mindset. Right. So we're coaching you into that. And then you're going to work on that area to start moving towards that, because success is in the journey, not the destination.
100%. So good, Chris. So, hey, folks, again, we're at the end of our podcast episode again today. Again, like Chris said at the beginning, if you watch this on YouTube, please subscribe. If you listen to this on a podcast platform, please subscribe there as well. Head over to the Raise Your Bars Personal Growth Solutions Facebook group, and it's free to join. Download the worksheets for this program, watch the past videos. And hey, folks, if you are a business owner and you're looking for a leadership development program or a sales training program for your team, we've got something for you. Go to barsacademy.com, and for one low price, you can enroll your entire team into a sales lane, a leadership lane, or both for a full year, 26 lessons in each lane that'll help transform your company and transform your culture. And of course, if you're a business owner and you're looking to increase your bottom line profits, raiseyourbars.com and watch our short webinar there. And Chris and I would love to jump on a call with you and show you how we can increase your profit margins by 25% or more this year, regardless of the economy. Thanks
Yep.
for tuning in. Have an amazing day.
Bye.